Now, the question of what can you do? What do you do if you do not have anything to your name, any authority, is you have to start at zero. You start at zero followers, and every single interaction, you have an opportunity to connect with somebody and build that relationship and build that momentum. I have a strategy called the power of three, which basically breaks down how you can build your personal brand very early on with no money and very little effort. And it starts with networking and connecting with three new people every single day. If you connect with three people over the span of 90 days, you now have 270 people who now know you, who know what you do, because you have to have a profession. You have to make money, right? It's not like you are a nobody, you are a somebody, or you at least have some interests that other people might also find interesting. And you just build from there.
Awesome. Yeah. So we're talking about building credibility, and one of the key ways to do that is what you've done, which is writing a book. Tell us about what it was like publishing your first book, because I know it is a lot of work.
Well, the hardest part was actually the first sentence. I had a bunch of ideas, like I mentioned, and then other than that, I came up with the title. But then I have the title, I have the idea in my mind, but how do I get what I'm thinking onto pages on a book? And one day I was walking, and it was a time that I was least expecting it. And this is true to success. I mean, there are plenty of people online like Jim Quick that talk about how your best ideas come when you're the most relaxed and you're the most comfortable. And I was out walking, and I had the idea for, what if there was something so powerful? And I was like, that is the start. And as soon as I had that first sentence, I then started to let the information flow. And I had about a page and a half done. And then I sat for about a month and a half and didn't do anything. And I just kept going and building. And then obviously I'm self-published. I didn't go through, I published through my public relations firm specifically, if you were to go on Google. But being somebody who's self-publishing my book, I had to understand distribution. I had to understand what an ISBN number is. And this goes to anybody that might want to write a book in the future. You have to think about not only the manuscript you're providing and what you're actually, portraying and what you're writing down. You want to make sure it's quality. You have to think about distribution, which is how are you getting your book distributed and into multiple retailers? And then you have to think about marketing, which is how do you drive sales? Because distribution and marketing are two separate things. Distribution is how you get your book on a bunch of channels, and marketing is how can you get people to actually view those channels and then make a purchase? And that comes by leveraging your personal brand and those connections that you have.
Do you think it's enough to just get your book on Amazon, as a lot of people do, or do you think it's worth going the full distribution route?
It's funny, I just received an email in my inbox on this subject from one of the companies that I used for publishing, for distribution specifically, not publishing. And there's a term in the industry that I learned today called going wide. And I'm always bullish on getting your book or getting your personal brand on as many places as possible. You have to be omnipresent.